Something has changed. I don't know what, but I can feel it in the very core of my being. Something has changed. When I look around me, things look the same, and yet they also look so different, so foreign. I feel different. I don't exactly know how. I couldn't describe to you exactly what I feel. All I know is I feel. I had discovered something, and what I did know beyond the shadow of a doubt was I was going to find out what it was. I was going to discover who I am. I was going to discover what's next.
So what was my first step? Well, it was a weeping willow tree in my backyard. It was a weeping willow tree and the branches came right down to the ground. Now, I had my magic moment. So then the question was, what next? Well, by coincidence, there was a book in the house, don't even know how it got there, by Deepak Chopra. The title was Synchrodestiny. And in it, he talked about how our thoughts were things. They weren't just etherical, they were actually things. And just because you couldn't touch them doesn't mean they aren't real. And then the other thing he talked about was meditation. Now, I had no clue what meditation was. I mean, my understanding was what you saw on TV, and again, as I was brought up, was meditation. You know, you're going, right, if you practice that stuff. And he talked about how, especially living things like a tree, actually radiated energy. And not only did they radiate energy, you could actually feel it. I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. And like I said, I'd just come off of this experience where I felt something, didn't understand it, but I know I felt something. So I thought, okay, there's something here that I need to find. I need to find the unseen, not unreal, just unseen. Now, one of the advantages I had was I hadn't taken any formal training, nothing. I had this experience, found this book, sort of, don't even know if I read the whole thing, I kind of breezed through it. There's something out here, I should be able to experience it. I'm gonna find out what it is. So at night, I would crawl underneath the branches and I would, practice this meditation stuff. Now, I had no idea what to do. But what I did have was a desire. I had the experience where I had a taste of what's here. And I had a desire to know more. Not just intellectually, but experientially. And so here I am. I worked at an industrial facility in the construction department. So I would finish work, come home in the evening, crawl underneath these branches, and then I'm okay. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I know there's something here and I want it. It's that desire. It's not knowledge. It's not how many courses you take. It's not intellect. It's not whether you're gifted with it or not. the fuel that you need to initiate and to propel your journey is desire. I had that desire burning inside me. I had that desire. I needed to. I wanted to. I had to find, experience more. So that's what I did, night after night. Didn't really notice anything, at least not initially. But there's two things that I noticed. The first one was I started to feel a peace. And here's the key. I felt a peace that was not determined by my external circumstances. And in so many ways, after being on this journey now for, well, that was the summer, sort of May, June of 2004, it's now 2023. So darn near 20 years. What we really want is peace. That's not dependent upon our external circumstances. It is so corny, but it is so true. That peace that doesn't come from here, it comes from here. And I know you've probably heard that 100 times before. My desire is you'll experience that for yourself. The second thing, so apparently these trees give off energy. Not just that, but I can feel it with my hands. So I would practice. And I would take my hands and I'd put them closer and closer to the tree and touch the bark, and closer and closer and closer until I touched the bark. But I persisted. Second key here, desire is the fuel. Persistence is what's going to keep you going. There's such a vital combination, the desire and the persistence, the determination, the stubbornness, that you just keep going, especially in the beginning. Not just in the beginning, but especially in the beginning, so you can get that initial momentum. And so I just kept trying. So I thought, okay, it's here. Can't feel it, but it's here. I kept trying and I kept trying. It wasn't too long before I put my hands closer, and I felt like the best way I can explain it is if you take your hand over, let's say, a sink full of water or in a swimming pool or something like that, and you take your hand from the air and you move it down into the water. You feel that change, right? You feel that density, you feel that resistance, or magnetic fields. That's what I felt as I moved my hands closer and closer. It was very faint in the beginning, but I felt it. And then it was like, holy smokes, I actually felt this. Well, then, of course, what happens? The persistence kept me going, and the desire, guess what happened? It just exploded, because now, oh my God, I could actually feel this. And that was my first sort of expansion of my awareness that I created. I'm going to say that better. That first experience of my awareness expanding, that through my desire and my persistence, I created the environment that was conducive to the growth finding me. You do not create the growth. Just as I said, you don't find that moment, that magic moment. You create the experience, the desire, and the persistence that it finds you. So I'd had my first experience that I methodically created. Okay, so now what? I needed to find, where were the people? Where were the people that I guess wanted what I wanted? And that's the next step in my journey into finding the unseen.